Hey everyone, finish watching the next episode of Beetleborgs, Sunset Boulevard. The kids meet a man in a fancy old car. He asks for directions to Hillhurst. He says he's looking for Fangula, but before he can elaborate, a woman in the back seat yells for him to move on. The people arrive at Hillhurst. The woman introduces herself. It's Nora Desdoom. She's an actress all the monsters are fans of. She's come to answer a fan letter Fangula wrote her 70 years ago. Les Fortunes, meanwhile, draws up a new monster, Ultimate Conqueror. The kids come to Hillhurst and accidentally offend Norma when they don't recognize her. She shows them a photo album of her various roles. She strikes a pose, but the kids just laugh. She's now determined to prove she can be scary, so Flabber turns the house into a silent film. Everything is black and white, there's no sound outside piano music, and all dialogue is communicated through interstitials. There's even film grain and scratches across the screen. This is such a creative effect. Norma makes things levitate and conjures up ghostly faces. The kids pretend to be scared. Later, Norma overhears the kids say her screams were lame-o. She angrily throws stuff around, and the monsters and kids hide in the basement. They come up with an idea. They'll teach her to be scary modern style. The kids go out and happen across Nukas out with his new monster. They overhear them say they plan to attack Hillhurst. The kids deal with the jet fighters while the monsters try to teach Norma how to be scary. Norma is once again offended that they would try to teach her how to be scary, and huffs out. She comes face to face with Nukas' monster and screams at it. This distracts it so the Beetleborgs can defeat it. Norma regains confidence in her talent and is going to return to film. This is an okay one. The silent film segment was definitely the strongest part of the episode, but it was all too brief. Nukas and his whole plot is his weakest yet. The bad guys have absolutely nothing going on. At the beginning, it looks like they may be ready to split from Les Fortunes, but they don't, and any conflict between them is forgotten for the remainder of the episode. The monster, Ultimate Conqueror, is just about the most boring monster in all of Beetleborgs. He's so devoid of personality and relevance, he feels like a Disney Power Rangers monster. Norma Desdoom is a well-enough character, but they didn't do enough with her. She has a big part, but she's just not very interesting. She's not particularly well-defined. Is she supernatural or just a normal person? What were her roles in the past? It looks like she played a typical person and not a monster, so why is she obsessed with appearing scary? Who was her chauffeur? Is he just a normal person? I think there should have been a greater emphasis on Norma being a forgotten star, and the monsters and kids find a love of her films together. It could kind of be like the movie Ed Wood, a Tim Burton movie about the life of infamous filmmaker Ed Wood. In the film, Ed Wood befriends Bela Lugosi, who's in his later years of life. Ed Wood tries to make Lugosi a star again, but his films are too unpopular. That movie is also in black and white, which is similar to the silent film scene here in Beetleborgs. Norma Desdoom was played by Gwen Van Dam. She has quite the impressive career. She's been acting since the 50s and is still acting today. She's been in many famous shows and movies over the years, though usually in minor roles. Ultimate Conqueror was voiced by Skip Stelrecht. He's been a voice actor since the 80s and has been in some big shows. He was the villain Vicious in Cowboy Bebop, Might Guy in Naruto, and Ryu in some Street Fighter animations. Most interesting to me, he was Gaomon in Digimon Data Squad. So far, Metallix has been a bit of a letdown. The episodes are fine, passable, but I really miss the old bad guys. The Magnivores were a million times more preferable to the crustaceans in every way. The lack of comic book connection for the monsters also takes away from the uniqueness of the show. The Hillhurst plots have been fine but rushed. Things don't feel like they've been thought through. When I was a kid, this is about where I stopped watching Beetleborgs. There are a few eras to Beetleborgs. There's the classic era, the first 40 or so episodes with the original cast mostly all together. Kim Delgado was Aaron Roland's father, and the Pipettes hadn't been completely phased out yet. After that comes like the post-classic Season 1 era, the rest of Season 1. Joe is now Brittany Connor-Zuski. Roland's mother has become the manager of Zoom Comics, but otherwise most of the things are the same. The Metallix transitional era, things are completely changed. New villains, new rules, along with a few new sets like the basement and the front window. After that is the more settled-in era of Metallix. Things are all established. The new powers, villains, and other characters like Little Ghoul. The plots, though, at least on Hillhurst's side, are basically the same structure as before. Some horror-themed character visits or some weird event happens and the monsters goof around. Soon will come another era with the introduction of the Astralborgs. Their addition really pushes Beetleborgs into feeling more like a typical Saban Amaritoku show like VR Troopers or Masked Rider. I don't remember disliking anything in particular in Beetleborgs, so I'm curious to see where the rest of the season goes. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.